The most disgusting Democrat hot takes of all time. Oh boy, Poo Girl is back. Poo Bennett, she's back. And she is interviewing random Democrats, and by interviewing, I mean harassing them in public while they try to shop at a market, and demanding that they answer random questions about politics that they're oftentimes not going to be filled in on all the details of, because they aren't media-trained political activists. And yet somehow, more often than not, despite the disadvantage that these people are at, they usually end up embarrassing her more than they do themselves, which is kind of what makes this content accidentally quite entertaining for me. So let's give it a watch, shall we?
Do you think that we should allow a 14-year-old child to get her breast cut off?
If it's cut as a yes or no, then yes.
There's 1 million unborn people from abortion. Is that funny?
Yes, it is. Oh, it's very funny.
So I guess we should probably just kill them before they're born, right?
God damn, dude, these people are just... Okay. So I'm assuming these are just the most triggering replies that made her the angriest.
Yeah. Republicans are violent.
Yes.
I'm asking for one specific...
Oh my god, this is literally just gonna be a Kaitlin Bennett gets triggered compilation, framed as the most disgusting Democrat hot takes, but it's literally just her getting triggered in a compilation. Okay, this is gonna be peak.
example that is a right-winger who went out and committed an act of violence against... Does that touch me?
He went into a place that was having known violence going on.
By who? By who? Violence by who? Leftists. We're here at the Lakeland Farmers Market for the 1-year anniversary of getting trespassed from this public property. I think it's untrue that I can't stop.
Wait, then you are breaking the law. What are you talking about? How are you gonna go from, like, talking about how important the law is and about how criminals deserve to be punished, but you're literally breaking the law now? You've been trespassed. Does she not know that when you've been trespassed from somewhere, if you come back, then the police will arrest you?
No, I'm going to continue my interviews.
You guys are saying kind of disrespectful things about deportation and saying some hateful statements.
Okay.
So at this point, now they do want to have you trespass on the property.
We're back doing the exact same thing that got me in trouble to begin with.
Poopy
Asking
pants.
for political hot takes from leftists here in the public square. You already know how this is going to end. Roll the tape. So I'm going to go down the line. I'm going to say my statements, and you just say agree or disagree. And there's no in the middle. It's just agree or disagree. Uh-huh. That's what makes it so fun. Okay, ready? Republicans are violent.
Yes.
Okay. Deport all illegals.
No.
Okay. We should support transing the kids.
Transing the kids or support trans kids?
Well, supporting trans kids, and let me clarify, that means at any age, if they come to us and say that they are...
That's right, guys. It's the same thing. Support transing the kids and support trans kids. I do like that she asked, wait, what do you mean by that? But of course, conservatives are dishonest, so their questions are all loaded or presuppose a lot of things.
...of the opposite sex or in the wrong body, we should do whatever means necessary to help them transition.
Okay, that's based on parent and kid. So I'll say yes, support trans kids, but that's I should stay out of that though.
Okay. There should be no limits on abortion.
Agree.
Okay. And Trump is the worst president that we've had in our lifetime.
Totally agree.
You can check mark the things that you agree with. Okay. Republicans are violent. Agree or disagree? Okay. Support
Truth
all
nuke.
illegals.
No one's illegal on stolen land.
Of course. Support trans kids.
Truth nuke.
100%. No abortion limits. Okay.
Truth
Trump
nuke.
is the worst president of the United States.
1,000,000%.
Okay. I love how you made up your own metrics. How are Republicans violent?
Just their beliefs, racism,
Some of them.
Okay.
and, well, ICE. Abolish ICE.
Okay. So when we say Republicans, there's been a lot of political violence in our country lately, and people are saying, oh, the right commits more, or some people are saying the left commits more. Do you see more right-wing violence from Republicans?
Do you see more right-wing violence from the Republicans? That's a very specific question. Conservatives dominate the media landscape, which means that if you see political violence online, you're going to see it almost certainly being done by someone on the left, because the right, they own all the algorithms, they own all the timelines, they own all the biggest channels, they push their narratives incessantly. But that's anecdote. If you actually look at the data, the crime data, overwhelmingly, to the point where there's not even an argument to be made, conservatives commit exponentially more violence than the left does. Even the most radical aspects of the left commit less violence than, like, relatively moderate Christian conservatives do in the name of their beliefs in crime data. So my answer would be the data.
I mean, I just think that the hate is violent.
Okay, so their ideas are violent.
Yeah.
What are some of the Republican ideas that are violent?
Supporting ICE.
Okay. And their support of ICE is a violent thing about them. Okay.
Well,
Can you name...
murdering citizens
And children. That's in with children.
Well, putting children in camps,
I do have to point out that if murdering children is violence, you guys did agree with no abortion limits at all.
Well, we're different on that opinion.
Yeah.
Once again, fetuses are not children. And late-term abortions don't exist. Those are called induced early birth. And typically, if that happens, then the baby survives or doesn't. And that's not up to the doctors or the mother. That happens because they absolutely have to. Before that point, abortions are done before there is an actual fetal development into anything that, at least I would argue as a person.
How do you justify that that's violence, their ideas are violence, but you support abortion without restriction?
I don't agree with abortion necessarily. And this is not that I support abortion. It's that I support a right to choose.
That is supporting abortion, right?
No.
Because you put a check mark next to no abortion limits.
Yeah. Well,
That means women have the right.
yeah.
And no
They don't have
limits.
the right to tell me what my limits are.
Really? Do you think that you should be allowed to rape and hit people?
No.
Well, that's a limit that you have with your body, right?
No. Being able to decide whether or not you have to spend 9 months carrying a pregnancy to term is not the same as deciding whether or not you want to rape somebody or hit them. That is not comparable, Kaitlin Bennett. Now, if you're wondering why she would say something so stupid and so ridiculous, it is because conservatives fundamentally are incapable of understanding the concept of consent. It doesn't exist to them. It's a fantasy concept to them.
No, because you're putting that upon other people's bodies.
Yeah, so we are not allowed to use our bodies to hurt other people. Right, just like you don't like how ICE agents...
Here's your pen.
Right, just kind of like how you think ICE agents are using their bodies to hurt people.
Yeah.
Deport all illegals. Agree or disagree?
Which one's agree and which one's disagree?
A check mark for agree.
I disagree.
Disagree? Okay. Support trans kids.
Definitely agree. Because why wouldn't I?
Okay. No abortion limits, so abortion through all 9 months without apology for any reason a woman wants it. Okay. Trump is the worst president of the United States we've ever had.
I don't agree, but I don't disagree with that one either.
We have to pick one.
That one I'm gonna skip.
Is there, okay, I feel, you know what? No, I'm not gonna be the better person. Kaitlin Bennett has this face phrenology, whatever you want to call it. Phrenology? Physiognomy? The racist science about like skull shape and bone structure that all the Nazis are throwing around. She has like the facial structure of just, she looks like, for one, like her family tree has very few branches. Let's just say that for starters. But on top of that, she looks as though she just has this smug look to her, you know? Just this really smug, awful, hard to look at kind of appearance. And I genuinely can't help but point it out, because it's eating at me.
That one too.
Okay, let's go back to support trans kids. Why do you agree with supporting trans kids?
So it kind of depends.
Why do you not agree with supporting trans kids? Why are trans kids bad? Like, why are these kids being trans something that means we should dislike them and not support them? I do not like demonizing children as part of a political movement. So, yeah, sorry. I'm not going to shit on any kids. I'm not going to try to stand in the way of trans kids or any kids from doing what they want to do or having the future they want to have. Nor am I going to support a political movement that wants to do that. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think trans kids are the villains of politics.
Because I'm not saying I wouldn't. At first, I will let them explore, and then when they get old enough, then I'll let them transition. Because they're still kids at the end of the day. They're not fully developed, so they don't really know. And even as an adult, we don't even know. So it kind of goes back and forth. I would just be real careful with that one though. But I definitely support them. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna support them.
In what ways would you support a trans identifying child?
Definitely let them be more gender fluid. If you let them be more gender fluid, then they can experience both things. That way, then they know, they know. So once they hit that age, they're fully welcome to do whatever they want to do. So I would say let them really branch off, see what they like.
We should deport all illegals.
I also disagree.
Disagree with that? Okay. We should support trans kids, and that means by helping them transition.
I agree with that.
You agree with that?
Base.
There should be no limits on abortion.
I agree.
Agree? Go ahead and put that. Trump is the worst president in history.
I disagree.
Okay. Support trans kids,
damn.
and I clarified that meant that would also mean helping them transition as minors. Why do you support that?
Okay, do we want to actually like go down the list of issues and why we argue these points on each issue. But here, can I get a full view of each one? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Republicans are violent. While Republicans is not a political, side, Republican is a political party, but conservatives are violent, or the right is more violent than the left. Substantially so. This is backed up by the data. You can look it up. Which political groups are more violent in America? Overwhelmingly, all of the data suggests it is the right. Christian nationalists make up the vast majority. Deport all illegals. Why do we not agree with this? For starters, to be illegal means many things. If you come to America and you overstay a visa, which is the vast majority of illegal immigrants in the country, you're an illegal immigrant. Now you might think, oh, well, isn't that problematic that people stay in America and they don't leave when they're supposed to? Not really. Economists have overwhelmingly demonstrated and argue, regardless of what side of the political aisle they're on, that they believe that immigration helps the economy. It is, in the short and long term, massively beneficial. While it does take up some jobs at the most low-paying, low-skill end of things, which does hurt the lowest skill, lowest income Americans, and that is a problem that needs to be addressed, addressing that problem, doing so is not through deportation. Illegal immigration is not this issue that people make it out to be. And the good it is doing is far better. People fearmonger about the crime that illegal immigrants might bring as well, but besides the crime of being here, illegal immigrants commit substantially less crime than native-born American citizens. Even the native-born white American citizens, because what happens if you get arrested as an illegal immigrant is you have to serve your time here in an American prison and then directly get deported once your sentence is up. They don't turn you loose. They deport you after you've served your sentence. They don't even deport you first. They make sure you serve your sentence here in America. You break American laws, you got to serve American justice, or face American justice, serve American time, and then they deport you. No illegal immigrant wants to commit a crime and get arrested. The risk is unbelievably high. So the rates are very low, and that's what you'd expect. Support trans kids? Why not? The overwhelming scientific and medical, biological, psychological consensus among doctors and scientists is that transgenderism is real, sex and gender aren't the same thing, that sex isn't even binary, that there are intersex people, there are transgender people who are both dysphoric and non-dysphoric, people who are just experimenting with their identity for any number of reasons you can't know because you don't know their brains, so leave them the fuck alone and just offer them basic human respect if you could. Be polite, offer some basic politeness. And as for trans people, with dysphoria, there is an overwhelming body of scientific data and consensus within the medical community that they are valid in how they identify and should be validated through everything from surgeries to being respected as the pronouns and the new name they select, wearing the clothing they want to wear, wearing makeup or wearing a binder, getting top surgery or bottom surgery or whatever they want to do, taking whatever hormones they want to take, as long as they are doing it responsibly and with the guidance of medical professionals, which is how this is done because we have a medical system. You can't just go buy hormones off the shelf. Well, I guess you can, but you're not supposed to be able to. It's like under the table type shit. Regardless, when this is done legally and without pushback from the government, it is done in the presence of doctors, with the advisory presence of doctors, and that's what you want. No abortion limits. This means nothing. There technically already aren't abortion limits when you really think about it. While there have been cases where women have nearly died or died on the operating table because doctors were afraid to save the mother's life because they might be arrested for doing an abortion too late into the pregnancy, that has happened and that is a big concern. But far more cases when late-term abortions happen, as they're called, late-term abortions, it's a made-up term, not a medical phrase, it's just a right-wing buzzword. When these do happen, they happen because the pregnancy has failed. Women do not carry a pregnancy all the way to the end with the plans to abort, but just put it off every week. Yeah, put it off again, put it off again, put it off again. You wait 3 months into a pregnancy to get an abortion, and it's going to be an unpleasant experience. The sooner the better, and every woman knows this, all right? There are no women changing their mind at the last second. This doesn't happen. This is a conservative fantasy. It is always happening when there is a mother on the fucking operating table, bleeding out internally, dying, and needing to be saved. That is when that happens. And the idea of banning that just leads to more of those stories where those women die on the operating table because the doctors are scared to go to prison. Trump is the worst president. I think that's fair to say. He's lied about everything. He's failed to deliver on any of his promises. He's ruined the American economy. He just made us lose to Iran in a pointless war. He lied about why we were going to war. He lied about how long we would be at war. He lied about how we were going to do well and win the war. Yeah, he's been the worst president twice. So there's my answer for each of those questions. Kaitlin Bennett, wash your ass. Anyway, chat, if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Follow my social medias linked down below, and keep in mind, only roughly 10% of my viewers actually like the videos, so hit that like button if we can raise up that ratio. I would love to see it. And of course, if you want to see more from me, follow my social medias, but at the end of the day, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.